Synchronicity University is where the most trusted and celebrated names in astrology today come to teach. These programs coming up in November are choose your tuition rate for a very limited time at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. Hello, fabulous superstar Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of October 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a very special time. Well, look, it is big. We have some profound energies playing out now in a heart-oriented part of the sky for you. And this is all about you getting honest about what you want in your heart of hearts in every area of life. Eclipse season beginning is only the beginning. And there's a sense here that whatever life is showing you about what that is, it has a will of its own, and it may feel as if it is overcoming you at some moments. This can be a powerful time of honesty, but it's also a time where you may have to face that certain things you were sure you really wanted just aren't for you or aren't cutting it for you anymore. They just aren't hitting that place within you of genuine joy and satisfaction. Now, outside of that, I do also want to say so much of the energy in the first part of the month, well, most of the month is in this part of the sky that, in addition to what you want in your heart of hearts, also has to do with gambling. And that's where I'm going to invite you to be careful, because the energies this month have a profound intensity to them. And you are going to have to pace yourself. Where the energies are strong and working to your advantage is fortunate closures, allowing endings that end up being massive blessings for you. But where it is that you're trying to direct the energies to go a certain way, or even where it is you're wanting to make gains, that's where you may need to be careful, because then you start working against the higher blessings of this time. So let's take it one at a time. It is on the 4th of the month that we get Mars meeting the South Node in this heart-oriented part of the sky. So again, this is where a lot of activity is taking place. When a big planet like Mars meets the South Node, it always represents a doorway opening from which some person, place, thing, situation can end. And sometimes in the moment, you're not sure how you feel. Sometimes right away, you know that this is a blessing. So whether that realization comes just after or in the moment, this is about your life moving towards greater love and greater wisdom as a result of what has served its purpose and is leaving in some way. But as we navigate forward, we have a couple of other big things happening. So one is on the 10th, Pluto going direct. Now, Pluto is a big planet, has been retrograde for over 5 months. And whenever Pluto is changing directions, it essentially stands still in the sky from our perspective for weeks at a time, which means that pretty much all month, it is Pluto that is at the height of its power, appearing to stand still, appearing closer to the Earth than it might otherwise be. And this stationary direct of Pluto is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with profound change, profound truth. And it has to do with really being honest with yourself, emotionally in particular, about how you really feel about a given matter. It has to do with power and power struggles and recognizing what you define power to be. It has to do with the taboo, but it also has to do with your understanding of wealth and your ability to access resources. So you can see that this is a very profound part of the sky, and a super profound planet standing still here is going to be heightened in importance, but that's not it. We navigate forward. We get to the 14th, and we have a solar eclipse set to take place in the part of the sky that the South Node is in, that Mars is in as well. Mars is close in the sky to this eclipse. And this is that heart-oriented part of the sky waking up for you once again. The Sun and Mercury are close by as well. Now, solar eclipses always bring with them new beginnings and new possibilities. However, again, we've got the South Node there. And so these beginnings are going to come hand in hand with certain people, places, things, or situations exiting from your life as part of you welcoming in more of what it is that you truly want and what it is that's going to genuinely make you happy. And if all this wasn't enough, the energies of the eclipse aren't just isolated to the moment. The eclipse is square Pluto, speaking in tension with Pluto. And as we move forward in the days ahead, what we're going to have is the Sun and Mercury meeting with precision over the South Node, all three connecting in tension with Pluto. This is huge. I want to be straightforward with you. This is very big energy. And it speaks to a lot changing, and a part of that is rooted in an understanding of where we feel powerless, where we found ourselves in power struggle, and where we're just not willing to play that game anymore. And game really is the word, because this part of the sky, where we get the solar eclipse and the Sun and Mercury and Mars, this part of the sky has to do with games and winnings. And as I said, windfalls, but also gambling that can lead to big losses is part of what could happen here. And that's why I'm inviting you to stay open to the possibility. That's where this energy works to your advantage. When it is that you're going along for the ride to see where it is that life and the universe wants to take you, what it is that you're learning about yourself and what's in your heart, that allowing is how you maximize blessings. But where it is that you are striving and fighting and really wanting something very specific to happen, that's where you run up to that tension. And so acknowledge what power you do have and use that, be grateful for that, but also understand that the universe might have something bigger for you to understand. And what at one time might have brought you great joy now may seem superficial to you in some way. Now, for all that though, I also want to add this part of the sky is so lit up, especially the first 3 weeks of this month. This part of the sky also has to do with the kids in your life, you feeling like a big kid as well, that genuine joy. And so you may want to be mindful with that solar eclipse now. Your fertility may take you by surprise, is what this suggests. That may be something amazing. That may be something that takes a moment to adjust to, but that's something that may come into the picture. And again, what you thought was fun, the joy, the playfulness that was there, you may realize that something within you is changing now and ultimately moving towards something that's more substantial and meaningful to you as well. Now, as we navigate forward, the 28th of the month is when we get this month's full moon, but it is a lunar eclipse, a partial lunar eclipse at that, and it is happening in the sign just before yours. Now, this partial lunar eclipse is standing across the sky from Mars. There is a lot of intensity here with this energy. And very likely, a lot is going to be stirring within you that you can't quite put your finger on, you can't quite explain. But another way of understanding this energy, again, because this part of the sky has to do with closures. Lunar eclipse brings with them closures. Then we got all that Pluto involved in the solar eclipse. Pluto has to do with that sense of closure in its own way as well. All of this does suggest a month where your bigger blessings are more rooted in what it is and what chapters it is that are done. And this is part of you living more fully. And especially this lunar eclipse is about connecting you to an understanding that you have so much more yet to do in this lifetime and to be open to that possibility. Outside of that, though, it may just be work and everything that you have to do as you move through your day that feels extra tiring to you now. So you may just need a lot more rest. A lot of soul lessons might be working themselves out on a level of your dreams. And so that can be a great way to engage and dissipate this energy that can get rather intense or wired, if you will. But also possible with this is sometimes dramatic or unexpected closures. People, places, things, situations leaving in your life, but it's ultimately part of you getting clear on some meaningful level within yourself. That clarity in turn helps you to understand that actually this is very good. The closures are good. They're allowing that space for the new and the next to rush in and fill your life with that much more happiness and satisfaction as well. Now, where it comes to matters of love, I want to go back to the energy the first 3 weeks of this month because the area that is so lit up, in addition to the things I mentioned, also has to do with dating and romance and what you need to feel loved, what helps you to feel connected to an energy of love at that. And so it could very well be an awakening of heart romantically that happens for you now that becomes part of how these really big changes and big lessons are set to find you. The thing to remember with those Pluto squares defining this time is that we ultimately are powerless over other people. Other people do what they want to do. Full stop. This is especially true for you now. If you're in an established bond, this becomes that much more profoundly true given where it is that Pluto is going direct. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, look, this month has powerful flirtation written all over it. And yes, there may very well be very powerful interactions with other people. It's very much about you, your own experiences, what's waking up for you. And I think a part of what changes for you now is an understanding of what love and even intimacy is going to mean for you navigating forward from here. There are powerful insights that you gain into self now. And so stay open to the prospects. And really, this time can be so delightful for you if you focus on the fun where it is that you are open to connecting with people. Again, some flirtation may feel like a huge catalyst, in fact, life-changing moment, regardless of where it goes on the surface or whether or not this person hangs around. For those of you just starting to date someone, I do think an energy like this says it's a very all or nothing kind of month for you now. You're getting to some truth about this person, how you feel about them and about yourself. And you're looking at what your heart really wants and whether or not this person can meet you there, whether or not you feel an authentic heart level connection with them. That is going to be important to you. If you don't feel it, it's like you can't lie to yourself anymore with a month like this. And so stay open to see where it is that inspiration and insight wants to take you next, because chances are it'll be someplace good. However, the flip side is this could be a time when you really realize that this is the one for you. Things can solidify very quickly and profoundly on that heart level. And for those of you in an established bond, well, there's a sense of momentum here, excitement that can take place throughout much of the month with this highlight on heart. It brings a focus on fun, but what was fun for the two of you to do before might feel unsatisfying in some way now. And a lot of that comes down to Pluto, I have to say. Not only Pluto speaking with these big planets in the first part of the month, but Pluto is in a part of the sky that has to do with vulnerability and intimacy and being really honest with yourself. And where it is that you have felt that you're in the right relationship for you, it is Pluto going direct that brings with it this renewed sense of intimacy and commitment, a profound connection the two of you share. But where it is that that isn't the case, this is a time of shifting gears and maybe even going a whole other way. In many ways, that Pluto going direct is a very all or nothing energy for you now. And if you have felt for a good while that this might not be the right relationship for you, this is where the truth of what you feel and why comes profoundly to the surface. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. Well, I am going to say, because there's just so much here, but let's focus on that very powerful solar eclipse happening on the 14th of the month. Now, normally eclipses can take a few days on either side to really be felt, but this energy actually extends out a full week, as in the days ahead, we get the Sun and Mercury meeting the South Node, squaring Pluto. And throughout this time of that eclipse in particular, we have Mars hanging tight, a slow moving Mars and a standing still Pluto. That square with Pluto. The eclipse is square Pluto. And all of that is to suggest, yeah, this energy is going to feel strong right out of the gate and is going to only magnify the first 3 weeks of the month as when you feel the strongest. And it's very much about admitting to yourself where it is that what you wanted in your heart actually to you feels superficial now. It's about acknowledging that there are certain things in your heart that you don't have to compromise. And it's about making that distinction between what is authentic to what is within you and what just isn't, especially anymore. This in turn will ensure that you align with a life that feels more heart-centered, more in alignment with what you know brings you an authentic sense of joy. And along the way, you'll uncover a new and renewed happiness deeper than you knew before. Well, thank you so much for watching. Do you know about Superstar? NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each week for each sign for as low as just $3 a month with choose your membership rate. Higher tiers are also available, which give you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below.